Hey, what's up guys? This is Devin Shea from Aligned Life. And today I'm going to show you how to bulletproof your shoulder, hips, and spine in just a few movements each. Let's get it going. All right, guys, first ones we're going to focus on are working on your shoulder. The shoulder is by far and away one of the most unstable joints in the body, which means it's highly injury susceptible. So doing accessory movements with a little bit of weight to help strengthen them significantly reduces your injury susceptibility. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to grab a little 5-pound weight. If you don't have a weight, you could use a can of soup or something like that. You're going to go ahead and put it in your hand. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and bring our arm up straight to 90 degrees. And then we're going to move it slow on the way back down. The key for this is just trying to keep this shoulder blade engaged, which means back and down, almost like I'm trying to stick them in my back pockets. Go ahead and bring it up. That's the concentric contraction, then slow on the way back down, eccentric contraction. Eccentric, you're going to gain a ton more muscle recruitment in comparison to the concentric. So you're going to want to really focus on isolating those tissues. I'm going to recommend 10 repetitions of this. And then you're going to move to the next one, which is what's called abduction. I'm going to move to the side a little bit here so I can keep my arm in view. We're going to drop this all the way down to the side once I've gotten it up to 90 degrees. So concentric contraction to 90 degrees, slow on the way back down, eccentric contraction. Again, shoulders back and down, 90 degrees, slow on the way back down. Last one we're going to do is what's called external rotation. And what I'm going to have you guys focus on is laying on your side. And I'll show you that right now. All right, so to create external rotation in the shoulder, what we're going to do is we're going to lay on our side. And I'm going to keep my elbow nice and tight to my body. I'm going to go ahead and the concentric contraction is going to be to open up to the side. And the eccentric contraction, that slow part, is going to be dropping the hand down closer to the body. Open up, slow on the way back down. If I wasn't videoing, I'd probably be trying to keep my head in a little bit more neutral position, maybe give my other hand here. So I've got a bit of a pillow to keep my spine nice and neutral. And again, you're going to accumulate 10 reps. Now we've got a good bit of stress going through some of these little tiny muscles in the shoulder, which is really all they need. You might feel a little bit of burning in this tissue group as you're going through that. That's perfect. Once you're done with this, you'll feel like, okay, yeah, I've done something for my shoulder, but it won't be so much that you're overwhelmed. Okay, guys, now we're going to focus on making your hips more stable. And really, we're going to do that through two movements. It's going to be a bridge, which is going to look like this. I'm going to have my heels brought right up underneath next to my glutes. I'm going to lay on my back, face up. I'm going to engage my core. I'm going to bring my pelvis straight up toward the ceiling. I'm going to engage, hold that for a 5 count, and then go ahead and relax back down. Core tight, engage, hips to the ceiling. Slow on the way back down after a 5 count. You're going to accumulate 10 repetitions of that bridge. And then the next one that we're going to focus on to stabilize your hip joint is what's called a fire hydrant. I think this is called that because when dogs go to the bathroom, a lot of times it'll look similar to this when they go on a fire hydrant. So your spine is not going to be arched this way, not going to be down this way. It's just going to be nice and neutral. We're going to go ahead and take the hip, open it up to the side, and then slow on the way back down. Take the hip, open it up, slow on the way back down. Again, accumulating 10 repetitions on the left and then 10 repetitions on the right. And now we've got a much more stable hip joint. All right, last thing we're going to focus on today is stabilization for your core and spine. So I love doing movements that put no stress on the spine, because if you've injured your spine, and now you're going to try to focus on getting it strong, but the movements that you're doing cause a lot of flexion and extension, that's not going to help you. In fact, sometimes it'll even flare you up. So what we're going to focus on is keeping your spine totally straight, but at the same time, help it to get strong. So we're going to have you first start out with a plank. Planking can be done with your forearms out in front of you. You can do this on your knees. You can also do it on your toes. And you're going to have your head in a neutral position, and we're just going to hold that position. Again, I'm engaging all of my abdominal muscles to be able to keep me upright. I would accumulate 30 seconds of this movement and then move to the next one. The next one is going to be a side plank. The side plank is going to work on the oblique musculature, the ones on the side here on the downside of the movement. I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to have you put your forearm down against our mat here. You're going to take your hips and we're going to bring them straight forward toward the front of the body. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to hang out in this position. Now, in this place, I'm working on this downside hip. This is the one that I'm working on. You'll feel when you do this that you're engaging this bottom side. My head's going to be in a nice neutral position. You could potentially even do this up on your feet if you needed to. In an overlap position, arm up. You can do all sorts of stuff like that to make it more challenging if you need to. Again, about a 30-second hold would be ideal. The last piece for this is we're going to work on the low back extensor muscles. So what we're going to do is we're going to have you guys flip over onto your onto all fours. Your head is going to be in neutral. We're going to bring our left arm out and our right leg back. And I'm going to try to get this about as straight as I can. I'm going to bring it through. I'm going to touch. And again, straight out. Left arm, right leg. We're going to accumulate 10 repetitions. Then you would go ahead, switch over, work on the right side, right arm and left leg. We're just going to try to keep this nice and straight. Try to really focus on engaging through the low back extensor muscles. By focusing on this, what we've done is really created a virtual, or actually a real weight belt around your spine, which is really going to help support it, make sure it reduces your injury susceptibility. So, hope you guys have enjoyed this today. Work on your accessory movements for shoulder, for core, and for hips. And you'll reduce your injury susceptibility by almost 80% just by focusing on these 3 critical steps. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.